G'day and welcome to the weekly roundup for Division 4 of the Adelaide Footy League. I'm Bevo, next to Darcy as always. And Darcy, what happened in the first game of Division 4?
Bevo, we got Gepps Cross taking on Eastern Park, and it was Gepps Cross, they're sitting second. Eastern Park, they're obviously they're sitting second bottom at the moment on the points difference, of course, of what happened. But I think, look, Gepps Cross, a big win there over Eastern Park. So now with the Gepps Cross with the goal scorers, you can probably say half the team kicked the goals. So you've got Gibbs with 3, Clark Rantasser with 3, Smith with 3, Smith with 2, individuals to O'Neill, Maniotis, yeah, so quite correct. The brother of Clark Rantasser again, Tana and Bray amongst the goal scorers there, with best players Jay Clark Rantasser, I should say, so with his 3 goals, Schmidt, Tahana, Mason and Childs.
And for Eastern Park, Nat with 3 goals, Walkley with 2, Burgoyne with 2. Wonder if he's related to Peter or Sean. And Sumner and Berrigan.
You never know, could it?
Yeah, could be related. Sumner and Berrigan with a goal each for Eastern Park. The best players, Webber was first best. Diedrichsen was second. Feast, Lukey Feast, another one from Birdwood I used to play with back in the day, and Freeman and Cullen, so well done to those boys. Unfortunately, as you mentioned before, Eastern Park sitting in 9th on 7 points, struggling a little bit at the moment, and Gepps Cross going along quite nicely. They are sitting in 3rd place. So.
Yep, absolutely. They are.
Second
spot.
Yep.
After that win, so they're 1 behind Glenunga, which we'll talk about in a minute, and obviously equal with Edwardstown on 7 wins as well. So
quite close again in this league, which is great.
It is very close. Which is good about amateur league. They get the top 2 down, top 2 up. I think that's a good way of doing it. So
fantastic.
Massive win here to Pooraka. Now take it away, because I think this is probably a bit of an upset for me. But that's
yeah, that's right. Well, Pooraka have now gone to 5th, equal 5th. On points, and Colonel Lake Gardens are now in 6th position, and it was Pooraka winning this one 20 goals 19, 139 to Colonel Lake Gardens 9 goals 458. So very one-sided game. Certainly weren't expecting this in terms of the ladder positions there, Darcy. And for Pooraka it was Mercer with 6, Batten with 5, Baker 5 as well, Vandermoor, Kennedy, Kalensov and Wiles with a goal each, and the best players Vandermoor, Mercer with his 6 goals. The other Mercer, Wiles and Palensov for Pooraka. And what about Colonel Lake Gardens?
Is that the Wiles? Was it Salter North? No relation. So not sure what happens where the players have gone for Salter North, but we'll take that after a minute. But for Colonel Lake Gardens, we've got Fleming with 2, McInerney with 2, Bennett with 2, Andrews, Richards and Smith with individuals there, with the best players Smith, Richards, Richter, Wood and Dawkins. Now you're right, Bevo. You said about they're both on 5th, they're equal 5th, with Mitcham, but Pooraka and Colonel Lake Gardens 5th and 6th, but the massive win there to Pooraka just puts there a way step ahead at this point in time this year, I think. So to lose by that much when you're sitting around the 5th or 6th spot, I think is a massive win there to Pooraka. I think Colonel Lake Gardens probably scratching their head saying, well, what do we need to do to stay in the 5 now? Because I said
makes it hard because Kilburn and SMOSH aren't far behind.
Exactly right. They're only 1 game behind as well. So we've gone from 8th spot to 2nd. There's only 2 games between them. That's how close this one is.
Awesome.
So this is a cracking division. It's a cracking division, this one. So then we head out to Salisbury taking on Glenunga. Now Glenunga, their walls have really fallen off here. So this would have to be the upset of the century, in my opinion, if it's not in Division 4. Glenunga taking on Salisbury, got top versus bottom.
Yeah, this is absolutely huge.
And this would have to be a massive upset. Now, what's happened with Glenunga? They were cruising there about 6 or 7 games in without a loss, I think it was.
Yeah.
And they've lost the last 3 in a row. So and to take on the bottom spot, who have this is only the 3rd game of the year they've won. That's massive win to Salisbury.
Pretty low scoring as well, wasn't it, in the end? With Salisbury 8 goals 250 to Glenunga 6 goals 1248. Once again, bad kicking's bad footy.
We say that every week. He's into it already. He's started, so which is great. So, but I think Glenunga will be absolutely not happy at all with that. I'm surprised if we got some best players, because usually they only have about 3 or 4 best players.
We should mention as well, a good friend of mine and also our producer, Lukey's, is Ricky. Is of course. I've forgotten his first name. Rocky Butterworth, of course.
Rocky.
Had a mental blank for a second there. His son, Tom, was actually playing his very first game, 16-year-old, first game for Glenunga. So on debut, unfortunately, couldn't get the chocolates for them, of course, but he was in the best play as well, so well done to Tom.
Yeah, good on him. So I think his old man's coached for millions, thousands upon millions of years. Back at PAC, and he's coached probably at CBC. He's coached everywhere. And how he got to Glenunga, I'm not sure. But best player as a 16-year-old kid, he's got. You think an SAFL club may have a look at him or something.
Well, Rocky's actually one of the managers there. I think he's involved with development or something at the Glenunga Footy Club. So so there you go. But yeah, they'll be certainly disappointed about that one. And also that might turn their season around.
They're 3 games behind Eastern Park, and 2 games behind obviously with SMOSH West Lake. So look, if they can do something like that for the rest of the year, they could avoid relegation because they're sitting there at 10th spot at the moment. But you never know with 7 games to go. So anyway, we've got the goal scorers for Salisbury. Keenahan with 2, Dale Gillish with 2, Paget, Osborne, Shields and Watira were the individual goal scorers, with the best players Keenahan, Wormald, Tucker, Goods, Paget and Hull.
And Glenunga, it was Ash Farha with 3, Ward with 2 and Wunke with a goal there, and the best players were Manning, Asfarha, Beard, Reid and Tommy Butterworth, as we mentioned, the young fellow, 16-year-old there.
Yeah, that's good on him, mate. He's got a great little future, that one. So, but let's look at the Wunke, the big full forward. When you only kick 1 goal, it's probably probably see going to struggle there. So.
Yeah, obviously certainly the defenders of Salisbury did their job.
Exactly right. Probably he had 2 or 3. We called a game there a few weeks ago. 2 or 3 plays up from every time went for it. So they played him very well, unfortunately, or fortunately, or unfortunately, whichever way you want to look at it. So, but then we head out to Mitcham, who took on. The might of Kilburn, I thought, was the go, but they're sitting 7th. They took on Mitcham, who were they're sitting 4th, so probably no upset, but a very close game here.
Yeah, it certainly was. It was Mitcham getting the job done there. 11 goals 9-75 to Kilburn 10 goals 11-71. So that now means that Mitcham are in 4th spot on 12 points. So certainly only 1 game behind 3rd place Edwardstown. So as mentioned before, it's really close. There, Darcy. And in terms of Kilburn, they're in 7th place at the moment, and SMOSH West Lakes are in 8th, so they're equal on points there. So it's a very close competition. In terms of the best players and the goal scorers for Mitcham, Roberts kicked 2, McGregor Day kicked 2, Daly 2, Jennings 2. Aiken, Henschel and Hardy with a goal each for Mitcham, and the best players were Tucker, Bradshaw, Hawes, Sutherland and McGregor Day. What about the Kilburn team?
Yeah, we've got Longy for 2 goals, obviously brother of our photographer Longy. He's done very well. We've got Galbraith with 2 goals also, Sandycock with 2, Carr, Williams and Martin and Gill were the individual goal scorers. Best players were Nags, Sandico, Tippett, Foster and Francis. So Longy, not even the best players, but just 2 goals. But that's okay. We like to mention Longy because he's just a great bloke and his brother being a good photographer. So, and we go to the last game. We've got Edwardstown. As you said, mate, they are cruising on very nicely at the moment. Look, they're equal second. You could say they're equal second with Gepps Cross.
Yeah.
Taking on Eastern Park, who had they're sitting second bottom, but they've got the points, more points than SMOSH and Kilburn. Oh no, they're still sorry. The 1 more games, obviously what happened, they've come back, but where are we? Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. My bad. I'm allowed 1 mistake every time, we know that. SMOSH West Lakes are 8th, sorry, who are, obviously obviously Eastern Park are 3 points behind them, so they've got to obviously keep the winning up, but it wasn't meant to be, was it?
Yeah, that's right. In the end, Edwardstown, far too good win this one, 16 goals 19, so again, could have been a lot worse with missing those goals. To SMOSH West Lakes, 4 goals 5, 29. Big margin there in the end to Edwardstown. Edwardstown Reading kicked 5, Blythe 4, passes to May 2, Jose, Sarah and Woolard. And for the best players, Daryl Summers there, best on Reading, Sarah, May and Parsons. What about SMOSH West Lakes?
Yeah, SMOSH West Lakes, we've got Parham, White, Cox and Milovovic. Just individual goal scorers there with Moore, Scott, Elliott, Sabic and Hyan Hunon.
Some tough ones for you, isn't
They are some tough ones in English with Darcy, it always happens. But in amongst the best players, apologies if I didn't pronounce them right, but well done getting the best players. And look, SMOSH are struggling looking Div 3. You don't want to see them be relegated Div 4 because they were in Div 2 only a couple of years ago, so it'd be pretty hard for them to go back to Div 2 trying to attract players. But
they're always pretty strong, SMOSH. They've always had very strong A, Bs and C grade. And I'm surprised that they're struggling actually. Just
because you've got the school that feeds them, I suppose you've got Mates, you've got St Michael's, you've got, when you're competing, I suppose, a lot of clubs in that area, you've got, even from Flinders Park, right around to Port Districts in that area, Portland, it is very hard to try and attract players as well. So
yeah, definitely.
On to this week's games, we've got Kilburn taking on the might of Gepps Cross. So look, you'd think, even though it's at Kilburn, with the mountain men over the other side there, I think Gepps Cross would probably have a good win over Kilburn, I think, this week.
Yeah, I'm with you with that one.
Yep.
Yeah, Gepps Cross for sure.
Eastern Park are taking on SMOSH West Lake. So if Eastern Park win this one, they'll be 9 points versus SMOSH on 10 points. So that's where I think, but I'm still going to go for Eastern Park at Eastern Park. Very, very hard to beat out there. SMOSH West Lake's just probably falling off a little bit. So Eastern Park out there, very hard to beat.
Yeah, Eastern Park for me as well, I reckon.
Yeah. We're agreeing too many times.
Yeah, I know.
Which is great, because obviously TJ just doesn't agree with anyone, anything, anyhow. Anyway, Edwardstown are taking on Pooraka, so Edwardstown, they are sitting third, Pooraka are fifth, so probably a bit of a match of the round. There are only one game between them. I'm only choosing because they're at Edwardstown.
Yeah, Pooraka had a great win this week.
They did,
earlier on. So Edwardstown as well had a big win over SMOSH.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Edwardstown for me, they're playing some good footy at the moment. So
Now, Kernite Gardens are taking on Salisbury. Now, you think Kernite Gardens had that bad loss last week.
but Salisbury with the upset of the round.
The upset of the round. Look,
Yeah.
look, gee whiz, how do you pick this one? Look,
I think
Kernite Gardens for me, that was one of those games where they must have just Glenunga just fell apart, or just one of those games everything right for Salisbury, I don't know. But I'm still going for Kilburn.
Yeah, Kernite's turned the corner, I think, after their loss last week. They'll be spewing. So.
I think so.
Yeah.
And talking about Glenunga, they're taking on Mitcham. This is the game we're calling this week, so please dial into YouTube and to watch the game live. They're taking on Mitcham at Webb Oval, of course.
I think Glenunga will bounce back shortly after that loss. They'd be spewing.
They've lost 3 in a row, and they've lost to the lower sides as well. So
yeah,
I think they will bounce back. I think by about 4 points. I reckon it'll be a very, very close game and a good match.
2 goals maybe from there.
But let's finish up Division 4, and we'll see you next week.